Now, we talk a lot about how people are becoming more and more zombie-like in America, and sometimes we use the term the zombification of America. Now, recently in Miami, we caught an actual zombie feasting on the face of another man. Now, this is a true story. This is what's called the Causeway Cannibal. I call him a zombie because here's the thing. He was not only feeding on the face of another homeless man there under this bridge, and police came up on him and decided, you know, this was something they should intervene in, which justifiable. So they shot the zombie once, and he didn't stop eating the guy's face when he got shot. So they had to shoot him multiple times. Now, this is sort of one of the red flags. How you know you've met a zombie is when you shoot him and they keep eating the other guy. Probably a zombie. So the cops kept shooting the guy. You know, it's insane. But then they blame the bath salts. Now, bath salts is a street name for a whole class of so-called designer drugs. They're not actually bath salts. Bath salts are perfectly safe. It turns out these designer drugs, if you inject them, they can, of course, be extremely toxic. But here's the thing that they don't tell you. The active chemical in this specific designer drug is really the same as the chemical that's found in things like chocolate. But when you eat chocolate, it goes through digestion, and there are inhibitors of that chemical that prevent it from taking over your brain. But this designer street drug was specifically formulated with not only a high concentration of that chemical, but also with inhibitors to make sure that the drug wouldn't be broken down so it could be delivered right into your brain with very high concentrations. And then, well, that makes you go crazy. But of course, you got to also wonder, what's the effect of all the fluoride, all the vaccines, all the television programming, all the radiation from cell phones and other broadcasters, other electronic communications and electromagnetic pollution? What is the impact of all of that? It's definitely having an impact on the zombification of America. But from this story, I wrote a story about the zombification. I was talking about the zombie apocalypse actually begins in America, and there's a little bit of zombiness in the culture now. There's a company named Hornady that's selling Zombie Max ammo. Oh yes, there's ammunition for actually fighting zombies, and they're quite serious about that. You can buy zombie targets, and then I talk about some of the signs of the zombification of America. Let's go over some of these. There are more and more people who walk right into cars and trucks while they're texting. Yeah, and they get run over and sometimes killed. People are sleep driving at night. They suddenly awaken and find themselves in their cars in the middle of town, and they have no idea how they got there. Sometimes they even have their clothes on. The complete lack of intelligent questioning about the events of 9/11. Isn't this not another sign of the zombification of America? The acceleration of flu shot propaganda. The rise of a new generation of neurologically damaged, vaccine-damaged children. Yet another sign of zombification. The use of aspartame, which, of course, New York City wants to keep legal in unlimited quantities. How about this? What about the guy that was busted in Thailand for having 6 roasted fetuses in his luggage? So now we've got people seriously eating baby fetuses wrapped in gold foil. I don't know, that's getting pretty strange. Now, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control has even issued a warning about the coming zombie apocalypse. I'm not making this up. This part is not satire. The CDC, on their website, says that zombies could take over entire countries, roaming the city streets, eating anything living that got in their way, and the CDC is going to come to your rescue. They say the CDC would provide technical assistance to cities, states, to dealing with a zombie infestation. Oh, yeah. The assistance might include consultation, lab testing and analysis, patient management, which you got to wonder, how do you manage zombies? I don't know. And a tracking of contacts and infection control, including isolation and quarantine. And probably using some of those 450 million rounds of ammo that the Department of Homeland Security bought. Maybe that's zombie ammo. That's the plan. Oh, man. Sometimes I got to laugh because the whole thing gets too crazy. But coming up later, we've got a vaccine zombie video. This is something that I did a couple years ago. It's a music video. It's a song. We're going to play that for you because it's, well, it's hilarious. I hope you agree. It's an animation. One more comment about the zombie video thing. Another case happened that I don't think we have a graphic for it here, but there was another case of a man, the police broke into his house to arrest him. The guy started stabbing himself in the gut and then started throwing pieces of his own flesh and his own intestines at the cops. Like, get away, and started flinging his own intestines at the cops. okay, that's a zombie situation that we have here. and there are more and more signs that zombies are taking over America. So watch for the vaccine zombie video coming up. Now, before we get to that, the quote of the night for you relates to, of course, the overall globalization and the acts of rebellion by informed, patriotic Americans. This quote is from Patrick Henry. He says, quote, "If this be treason, make the most of it." And by that, he means that if just by questioning the British Army, if we've already made ourselves enemies of the state, let's go all the way, he says. Let's go ahead and have the revolution. Let's go ahead and take back our country. We're already going to be killed as criminals of the state, so make the most of it. That's what his quote really means, or at least that's my interpretation of his quote in history. Now we got the vaccine zombie video coming up, and then also first, let's talk about how you can help support the broadcast. PlanetInfowars.com is now up and running. It's a very fantastic, powerful, super awesome social media website. You can post information there. Something like 20,000 members are already posting there. I'm setting up an account there also. It'll be called Health Ranger. And if any of you take my name, I'm going to ask for it to be replaced. I'm sorry. I want to have the Health Ranger name on there so that nobody can impersonate me. You know, some PSYOP, COINTEL thing. If you see Health Ranger on there, that's me, and I'm going to start posting some things and participating and helping to support PlanetInfowars.com. Also, please consider becoming a member of PrisonPlanet.tv, where you can, of course, tune into all the incredible Infowars nightly news, all the other information, the feature films, and exclusive video reports, other things, just an incredible amount of information. That's at PrisonPlanet.tv. And yes, I'm a member there and have been for quite some time.
Be heard, be active, be social. InfoWarriors worldwide are logging on to the newest activist social network, PlanetInfowars.com. I'm Christy Hightower. This week on Planet Infowars, follow Alex Jones in the official Bilderberg 2012 InfoWarriors official site. You can watch up-to-the-minute news, information, and live streams, all covering the globalist clandestine convention going on this week in Chantilly, Virginia. Create your own sites of activists and information on PlanetInfowars.com.